All right, ladies and gentlemen, in order to be successful for today's instruction, you need to have your 2 DBQs that you picked up in the front of the room because first period wanted to pretend like DBQs weren't coming today. So we pretended for an extra day that we were not in writing week. But we are in writing week, in case you didn't know. So you need to have 2 DBQs in front of you. Now, I just want you to know that I am excited to unveil... We are in full prep for review, which means, so I haven't been able to tell you much about our review because I didn't know much about our review because I had to buy 4 different review books to figure out which one is the best review book. Make sense? And I'm happy to report I'm back with my Barons. They did such a great job. I just got this yesterday. It was released yesterday. Actually, the 4th, it was published officially, and you could buy it on Amazon. And I got it yesterday, and I sat there and I just read through it, and I was so proud of Barron's. They did such a nice job with the new alignment, and it's such a good book. So, I started Barron's before you're like, Ryan has Barron's. I do Barron's. No, I didn't need to read the whole book, but I like the organization. I like the way they organized it, and I know what key points they changed. So I went through and looked at them. I didn't read the whole. I have a bit of a life. Not a big one, but a little bit of a life, yes? So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, you will all be purchasing this book. It's $12.99 on Amazon right now. You can purchase it on Amazon today, or you can purchase it in like a couple weeks, but you will need it by week 25. No, not week 25. That's a lie. 28. So you have like 5 weeks to get it. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot afford it, you speak to me and I will get you a copy. Is everyone clear on that? Hello? If you cannot afford it, I will figure it out for you. However, you need to didn't make sense. You need to purchase this book. This is going to be everything. You will turn every single page. You will write and you will highlight every single page because your girl's not asking you to just purchase the book to flip through the book. This is worth 150 points every single week. This is everything. So, it is absolutely fantastic. I'm so proud of them. They did such a nice job. They made me proud. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can buy it on Amazon. However, you need to make sure it says AP World History Modern. The premium tests are good. I have the other one that's not the premium. Because of this, I think having extra practice tests online is a good thing for you. Does that make sense? So you can actually test and do all that. And it's not a difference in price, so it's kind of like, why not get 3 extra tests online? Yes, does that make logical sense? So, with that being said, you need to get the AP World History Modern. Modern. You can buy the AP World History books for like $6 on Amazon right now because they're the old ones that don't include all the new information. You need to make sure you're paying attention to the title. It needs to be AP World History Modern Premium because the extra tests are the same price. So, if you cannot afford it, speak to me personally and I will get you a copy. No one needs to know. It'll be our little secret. Everyone clear on that? So, you can start ordering it as soon as you would like. Everyone needs to have it in week 28. Believe me, I will be warning you and I will be threatening your lives. Any questions on this? This is everything. If you talk to any kid who's ever taken one of my AP classes, they'll tell you all about the Barron's book and how much you're going to love it and have so much fun. So, this is it. I'm so happy with it. It really did bring me joy. A lot. Here we go. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's look at your DBQs. Oh my God. So let me tell you what is happening this weekend to make sure everyone is explicitly clear on the expectations for this weekend. Because if you think I will be calm, cool, and collected, if you show up unprepared to school on Monday, you are out of your damn mind. Now, I will tell you, I will rage like the dying sun if you show up to my class without your annotations done. And I will use the excuse, oh, I'm 7.5 months pregnant. I just don't have control. I have control of my emotions, and you will see them rage. Everyone's clear on the expectations. Because if you do not show up prepared on Monday, you've screwed me and you over for the whole week. Having a day off in the middle of writing week is shitty and terrible, and it makes it more work on you and on me. Is everyone clear on that? Do your job. Do not show up to my class unprepared. Is everyone clear? Perfect. So, what does that mean, being prepared? So, if you just flip through, you will notice, let's look at, if you look at the bottom, you'll see one about Buddhism. Okay, if you look at the first page, look at the first page, look at the bottom. Okay, you'll see one about Buddhism. Then you will see that one is about the Han and the Romans. Okay, so underline them so when I reference one or the other, you know which ones we're talking about. Okay, so let's start with the Han and Romans. You will notice if you open up the DBQ, it has 7 documents. Yes? If you look at the Buddhism one, it also has 7 documents. So ladies and gentlemen, your homework this weekend that will be done perfectly to the exact specifications that I am going to require is that you annotate all 14 documents. Is everyone clear? Because I don't see you tomorrow. With that being said, if we were having a normal day, I would do my normal introduction and we would start annotating documents tonight together in class. Tomorrow in class, if we had a normal week, tonight for homework, you would have finished those whatever documents we had left over. Does that make logical sense? Then tomorrow, I would teach you how to write the essay. Right? That makes sense. I would teach you, like, okay, so we're going to plan out the essay. We got to make our groups. Here's what we would do. And I would write out the first paragraph with you. And then at home over the weekend, you would finish the last 2 massive paragraphs. Can we agree? Does that make logical sense? But because we don't have school tomorrow, guess what? Yeah, so instead of me waiting 3 days for you to annotate 7 documents, I'm now going to, in those 3 days, going to make you do 14. So when we come back, we can just focus on writing. I'm not trying to be mean. We have a shortened schedule. That's why things need to adjust. Is everyone clear on that? If you don't do your documents, you don't know the documents. If you don't know the documents, you cannot write an essay based on the... So, if you come to class and you are ill-prepared on Monday, rage, and you don't know shit, and everything that we're talking about in class is going to go straight over your head, and you will retain nothing. Guess what is worth 35% of your AP exam? DBQ! Isn't that exciting? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final piece of your exam. Happens to be the second largest portion.
What's the first one?
First one is your multiple choice, which is 40%. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know what you're doing, which means you have to come prepared, because the hardest part is not the documents. You know how you've been getting rocked by documents? That's not the hardest part. So, but if you don't do the documents, you can't do the hardest part. So we see how this builds on it, which makes it incredibly important that you are prepared. Everyone is clear over this weekend that every single person will be doing an annotation and a happy for every single document, all 14. So, do Monday on the top of your page. Do Monday. All 14 docs. Annotated, and happies. Okay, so every single document. Okay, so do Monday. I'm going to write it on my other one too, so you don't think you just have one. Do Monday, all docs, all 14 docs, annotated, and happies. Ladies and gentlemen, I will know immediately if you do or do not do this. And do you think I'm going to be looking? Oh, yeah. I got time like that, girl. Okay? I got time like that. So, you better have it done. Everyone clear on the expectations? Perfect. So, let's talk about DBQs. Okay. So, this is the last piece. You will notice that we have been working on DBQs. You just haven't known we've been working on DBQs. When Monday, when you actually get the full instruction, which is the most important instruction of the week, which is Monday, which I'm telling you right now, there will be kids from 8 push classes who are coming in to sit in my lecture on Monday because they need a refresh because they won't teach you this again. The expectation is that you learn it from me, and then Carbon and Masano are going to benefit from it. They have already said their scores next year, in 2 years, are going down. Why? Because I'm not teaching it next year. They already know their scores are going down. Why? Because they refuse to teach it. Why? Because it sucks. Why? Because it's annoying as hell. I'm teaching it to you. You're going to need to know it for the next 2 years of school. An A push and AP Euro. So this skill is absolutely important, and you will see that there will be juniors and seniors sitting in this class in the next couple of days going through Hell Week for DBQs because they need the refresher and no one else is going to teach it to you. Everyone clear on that? It's a big deal. So what is a DBQ? It is called a document-based question. What that means is, ladies and gentlemen, they give you a prompt. Okay, I'm looking at Han and Roman. Join me on Han and Roman, just so everyone's on the same page. Using the documents provided in your knowledge of world history, analyze Han and Roman attitudes towards technology. Okay, so that's a prompt. We've seen prompts like this before. What you have to do is you have to answer this prompt using these documents and citing these documents. Okay, so that means you have to read, analyze, and then implement in your essay successfully the arguments from this from these passages into your argument. It is very high level, and it has to be done very quickly, which is the real kicker. So, document-based question is they ask you a question, and then you have to use the documents that they provide in order to answer that question. Okay? That's essentially what it is. Here are the details. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2 of your exam on May 12th. Part 1 is you walk into the gym on May 12th, you sit down, and they open with the multiple choice. Open with the multiple choice, you have 50 minutes to answer 55 multiple choice questions, which we've been practicing every single week, and now we're doing time tests, which is, we're going to be fine on that, yes? As soon as you finish with the 50 minutes, they are going to tell you to close your book and seal it. So you will sit there for like 4 minutes while they collect all this information. Then you'll take out your SAQ. You have 3 SAQs in 50 minutes. Then they'll say go, and you will then sit and write your 3 SAQs in 50 minutes. Yes? So we have a clean block for the multiple choice and a clean block for your SAQs. Once you finish your SAQs, you will then get up and go outside after they collect your SAQs, and you will stand outside awkwardly for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you will come back into the gym and you will take a seat and you will begin part 2. Part 2 is an open section, which means you have an hour and a half to do both the DBQ and the LEQ. That's it. So it is both your DBQ and LEQ. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have an hour and a half. It is wide open. You can start with the DBQ. You can start with the LEQ. You can spend an hour and 25 minutes on the LEQ if you wanted to. You'd be a complete freaking moron if you did that. So, absolutely not. But it's completely up to you. It's not structured. With that being said, they think you're going to write this in 55 minutes. You're not. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. No. I could write this. I mean, I've written this prompt before, but like if you give me a new DBQ, I could do it in about 45, 50 minutes, and it would be pretty damn good. Would it be perfect? No, but it'd be pretty damn good in about 50 minutes. Do you think you're going to beat me on 55? No. with that being said, it's going to take you about an hour and 10, 15 minutes to write. Is it going to be perfect? No, but you're going to get a lot of points because I'm going to teach you how to scavenge through those points, yeah? So my kids always do well, but you're not going to do it in 55 minutes. It's going to take you about an hour and 15 minutes to write it. Seriously, absolutely. That's what we're budgeting our time for. With that being said, how much time does that leave you for your LEQ?
15 minutes.
15, 20 minutes. Which is why, what have we been grilling all year? LEQs. We know how to write LEQs. We know how to grind them out quick, right? And that's what we've been focusing on because LEQs, this is worth 35%. LEQ is only worth 15%. Which one's worth more points, people? DBQ. So we need to spend more time on the DBQ, but we still need to write the LEQ, which is why we've grinded really hard on LEQs, which is why we're prepared for them. Yes? Okay, so you're really going to write this in an hour, 1 hour, 10 minutes to 15. That's the ideal. Okay? So it is going to take us some time to get there. And in class, guess what we're going to be spending the rest of our year focusing on? DBQ. So we're going to keep writing SAQs, and you're going to be writing them at home and LEQs and stuff like that, but we're going to really focus on the DBQ because that's where we need to be. So what is a part of the DBQ? It is a thesis-based essay. So does everything need to be planned perfectly? Yeah, everything has to be planned out meticulously. You have to develop an argument in your essay, and you have to defend it, which means you have to provide evidence, which is the evidence is coming from your documents. So if you don't really read your documents and understand your documents, what have you already screwed up? Guess which one has the most points affiliated with it? Every document for the argument point is worth 2 points. Times how many? Times 7 because there's 7 documents. So 14 points is coming from just this one thing. Just so you know, there is only 26 points for this whole thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the most important thing that you can do? Understand your documents. Guess what we have been really working on since day 2 of AP World? Understanding our documents. This is why we are doing timed primaries. This is why we grind and hate primaries, because if you don't understand your primaries, there's no way you're going to do well on the DBQ. There's just no way. That's why we do what we do. Okay, so the argument development, use of documents, sourcing of the documents, contextualization. Oh my God, is our friend back? We love contextualization, understanding what's happening in the world while this is happening. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Oh, and we have outside evidence. So not only do we have to know the documents incredibly well and use them in an argument, we also have to provide outside evidence that cannot be stated or referenced in any of these documents. So we have to be smarter than the documents in order to get these points, which are absolutely necessary because it's worth 35% of our exam. Wow. And then our absolute favorite, synthesis. We have to tie whatever we're arguing to a different place, time, or location. Because DBQs suck. And they are the epitome of everything you hate. Can we agree? And this is what we're doing. What do you got, kid? It is a 4-paragraph thesis and then 3 context paragraphs. So, but we'll really focus on what these look like on Monday. Do you see how important it is that you're here on Monday? That you are ready to go on Monday? Yes, because we are really grinding out today. It's like an introduction to the DBQ, and we're going to start doing our analysis of the documents here in a minute or two. But I want you to see, if you don't know your documents, ladies and gentlemen, and you're not annotating them correctly and your happies are incorrect, how screwed are you?
Pretty screwed.
Yeah, you're totally screwed. Do you see why we have been doing what we've been doing all year? On Monday, it'll become crystal clear why I'm a crazy person. I mean, not crystal clear, because there's a lot of reasons why I'm a crazy person, but DBQs are the big reason behind it. So, documents, 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 documents. All right, here we go. How exciting, guys. All right, are we ready to begin? Let's do it. So, using the documents provided in your knowledge of world history. Every time, ladies and gentlemen, it is very abnormal, and I've never sent kids home with 2 DBQs to annotate the documents. I've never done it. But guess what also I've never had? A day off during DBQ Hell Week before. So, sorry. It's very strange. It's not ideal. This isn't how I want it. We could come tomorrow and hang out. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
The school is closed. They won't let us in. That would be amazing, though, right? Wouldn't it just be great? We could just do it together? Okay, so using the documents provided in your knowledge of world history, analyze Han and Roman attitudes towards technology. So, everything we are writing about is about what, ladies and gentlemen? Technology and their attitudes. When we say attitudes, what is an attitude? How they feel about it, okay? The most basic one would be positive, negative. However, guess what will not score? Positive or negative, but those are the types of things that we're looking for. So as we're going through the documents, we're going to acknowledge, is this a positive view on technology or a negative view of technology? And then from there, we will start making more complex arguments. Is everyone clear? Because basic arguments will not fly. They will not score. All right, here we go. This is so exciting.
No.
Are we having fun? Aren't you just thinking AP World can't get better? And then it does. Document 1, here we go. Source, Han government officials writing to local officials concerning flood prevention, early 2nd century. So, who is this, Han or Roman? So I'm going to make it very clear at the very top, Han. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you make your annotations, I'm telling you right now, you have to make your annotations. As soon as you decide you're going to write your DBQ on May 12th, you just need to stick with it and do it. When you do your annotations and your happies, you never read the documents again. You only read your own handwriting. Does that make sense? You don't have time to keep reading the document and your annotations in order to write the essay. You will only look at your happies and your annotations. Doesn't that make sense? So, you want to make sure you're pulling out the most relevant information, because if the prompt is asking about Han and Roman, so this is Han, so I'm going to label him Han, okay? And then, of course, way over here we have Roman. Isn't it important that I'm making it clear which documents are what? Yes, of course. Okay, so when you are annotating your documents, you will never read the document again. You will only read your annotations. So if it's not in your annotations, guess what? That content's lost. Okay, here we go. So this is Han writing to local officials concerning flood prevention. Flood prevention. I request that you establish water conservation offices in each district and staff them with people who are experienced in the ways of water. Now, what water are they talking about? What river, ladies and gentlemen? Yellow River, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking about the Yellow River. And what do we know about the Yellow River? Okay, don't tell me it floods. Every river floods. But what makes the Yellow River special, Evan? It's the most unpredictable. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, they will never mention the Yellow River. We know it's the Yellow River. Guess what we just came up with? Evidence. Outside evidence, boss. So, we already got one. So that's what you got to be thinking as you're reading through this stuff. You got to be logically going through. There should be one high official and one deputy with just enough workers to meet the need. For the area on both sides of each river, select one person as chief hydraulic engineer. Order inspections of the waterways, the walls of the city and their suburbs, the dikes, the rivers, the canals, the pools, and government buildings and cottages, and enough supply workers to those who are to carry out repair work in each district. So who is running this, ladies and gentlemen? The government is doing this. Okay, so this is all controlled by the government, and the government is providing jobs as well. So look at the historical context. What is the historical context of this piece. The faster you go, the more I get done in class, the less you have to do at home by yourself. So what is the historical context of this piece? Reagan.
It's the Han creating a system to stop flooding.
Historical context is Han government regulating floods. Regulating floods for the Yellow River. Okay, this is the first time in history. Who is the audience for this? Who is the audience of this piece? Guys, the faster you go, the better it is. Tess. It's not for the Han government. No, it's not. Evan. Local officials. Locals, officials. Perfect. What is the purpose of this piece? The faster you go, the less homework you have this weekend. Evelyn.
To help set up, to help stop the floods.
Okay, but are they building dikes and dams?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
They're creating what, Evelyn? What are they creating, Sterling? No, there's no system. Literally, what are they doing? Yeah, they're creating a government bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is when you hire people to take care of it. Creating a government bureaucracy to deal with flooding. Guys, they're just hiring people at this point. They haven't done anything. They're just hiring people. Okay, what is the goal of the person doing this? Okay, so the person is a Han government official. What is the real goal here? Why is the Han government hiring local people doing all of these different things? What is the goal, William? Well, yes, darling, that's what floods do, but why would a government official care about it? What do you got, Emma? No, it's your personal property. It's not my personal property. Guys, why? We've talked about this. Think about week 3 we were doing this. Come on. What do you got, Claire?
Constant flooding causes technology to
No.
not advance.
We're not ready for the prompt yet. Daniel.
It's about the people who like gain trust.
Gain trust in what, Daniel?
Loyalty.
2. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if your house is getting wiped away, do you think the government is working or not? No. And what can they say if everything keeps getting wiped away? What can they use to justify?
The data pattern.
Yeah. Okay, the purpose, the point of view is to keep Han in power. Han in power. Because flooding will be controlled. Okay, so the whole goal here is to keep the Han in power. Why is it significant, ladies and gentlemen? Because it's going to satisfy what? Cade. The people? No. They're trying to keep what at bay? The Han want to keep what at bay? The Yellow River? Well, obviously, but flooding. If flooding happens all the time, what does that justify, people? Mandate of heaven. Why is it significant? It shows active governing by Han to keep the mandate of heaven in their favor. Is that a big deal? Doesn't it make sense? Ladies and gentlemen, guess we just introduced our second piece of evidence. So, is it important to be making meaningful, thoughtful annotations? Yes, because later, will this make it easier? Yes. So, every time I come up with a good piece of evidence, I'm going to put a box around it. So later, while I'm looking back, I can see the box and be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, Mandate of Heaven, Yellow River, got it. Moving on. Okay, so that's one happy. You have to be doing thoughtful annotations, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, document 2. Guan Guan, government official, discourses on salt and iron, 1st century BCE. This is a Han document, so I wrote Han on it. Okay, in earlier times, workers were allowed to do both foundry work and salt boiling. What's foundry work? Iron work. Okay, and salt boiling, as long as they reported the work and paid a tax. Tools manufactured by individual families to do this work were well made. Today, hold on, I kind of skipped a step. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, we just annotated the document. Is this, remember, our prompt, is this pro-technology or anti-technology? Pro. Who can raise their hand and tell me why is it pro-technology? Why is it pro? Lauren.
Because they're using like all the things like the dams and like canals and stuff.
Yeah, they obviously support it. So, I have now pulled out Han. I have done my happy. I have my 2 pieces of evidence in a box, and I know it's pro-technology. So when I go back through and I'm looking at all this information, okay, Joseph, I have a thing for you. When I go back through, it'll be easier for me to see this information. Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. So, in earlier times, workers were allowed to do both foundry work and salt boiling as long as they reported the work and paid a tax. Tools manufactured by individual families to do this work were well made. Today, the iron tools that workers are required to use are produced by the state using convict labor. What is convict labor? Who can tell me what convict labor is? Shannon. Yeah, prisoners who go to prison. Today in the United States, what do we joke about prisoners? What do prisoners make for us? Jared? License plates. Yeah, that's convict labor. Okay? These tools are often crude and not very functional. Why are they crude and not very functional? They don't want to be there, and do you think they're really getting paid? Hell no. In previous times, the tools manufactured by workers for their own use and for sale were of excellent quality. Now that the state has monopolized the state in iron trades, most of the tools provided to workers are hard and brittle, and the responsible government officials are often not available to take complaints. Good implements are hard to come by. Salt and iron are now sold at very high prices by the state, and many common people cannot afford to buy either. Some of the poorest peasants now have no choice but to till the soil with wooden plows and cannot afford salt to season their food. All right. So, pro-technology or anti-technology? Anti. Okay. So, anti-tech. All right, so here we go. What is my historical context? What is my historical context? What do you got, Cade?
Salt and iron manufacturing.
Kind of, but what is this whole piece about? What is the whole piece about? Yes, it's about salt and iron, but really, what is it about, Emma? No. Guys, what has been done? Joey?
The government taking over the salt.
There you go. Government. Monopolized. Salt and iron. Do you see why this is the real focal point of the whole piece, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. So, who is the audience of this piece, Alexa? Yes, government officials. Okay, what is the purpose of the piece? What is the purpose of the piece? The summary of the document is what, Sam?
That that's not the salt and iron.
Cool, but how?
Doesn't make like they raise the prices and
No. Guys, what is the big problem here, Sterling? Yeah, government supplied tools aren't working. Aren't working. Okay. What is the point of view here? What is this government official who's writing to other government officials trying to say, Maggie?
That they should let the people make their own choices.
Okay. Guys, what are they trying to do? Guys, what is the biggest problem with them not having the right tools? They can't do the work, okay? People are now plowing with wood plows. How do you think that's going over? Okay, so it's a government official writing to other government officials. What do you think their real focus is? Sterling.
Is it not effectively?
Okay, so what's the goal?
They should implement it for their.
Well, all their people live in China, so they all implement it. What do you got, Sophia?
To get rid of convict labor.
No, it's not the convict labor.
They won't get as much money if they're using
Guys, if you can't really till your soil because you're using wooden plows, what's that going to cause? Starvation. That's a problem, right? We're in China, so what could that trigger? Yes. If you don't have salt in your diet, what happens? You die. You die. Now, here in 2020, is salt a problem for Americans? No. Well, in the other direction. In the other direction. Too much salt can kill you, which people are experiencing now. That's a modern day problem. Back in these days, was that common? No. If you didn't have salt, you would die. So, what is the point of view of this document, Brian? I can't really hear you, my love. There you go. Guys, if it's in China and it's government officials talking to government officials, what are they trying to do? Stay in power. If it's always government officials talking to government officials, what is the goal? Stay in power. So, the point of view. If we don't adjust iron and salt production, the people will rebel. Okay, so why is this significant? Why do we care about this document, Ashlyn?
Because it told them that something, like, it made them change it so it doesn't identify the problem.
Okay, they did identify the problem, but what is this showing us, ladies and gentlemen? Guys, they implemented something new. They did state-controlled salt and iron production. How did that go? Not well. So, new inventions, are they always successful? No. Why is this significant? This shows new inventions like government takeover failed in China. There you go. Okay, so this is anti-technology. What?
So that one we don't have any
Yeah. So we'll have to figure it out. Because keep in mind, we're going to have to group the essays as well. But when you see things that like clearly jump out at you, like, oh, I know what that river is. It's got to be the Yellow River. That's when you're like, oh, hell yeah. But sometimes you're not going to be like, do you think I can't add anything to this? Like, I have no freaking idea. But when it does jump out at you, you got to get it down. All right. Okay, document 3. Huan Tan, upper class Han philosopher, new discourses. So we're going to write Han in the corner so we know. Now, when we're writing our essays Monday in class and Monday at night, are you reading through the documents again? You're only reading your annotations and your happies. That's it. So if it's not in there, you messed up. You don't have time to be going back and forth between the two. Fuixi, a mythological wise emperor, invented the pestle and mortar. What is a pestle and mortar? Does anyone know? What do you got, Joey?
It's like a bowl of mashed up.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like witches and stuff like that? You know, they put shit in a bowl and then they grind it up and then they like douse it into things. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Later on, the pestle and mortar were cleverly improved in such a way that the whole weight of the body could be used, thus increasing the efficiency 10 times. In time, the power of animals, donkeys, mules, oxen, and horses was added. Later, Water was also applied, and the benefit was increased 100-fold. Okay, so, Han, positive or negative on technology? Positive. So this is pro-tech. So we need to know that. Okay, this is positive technology. Okay. What's my happy here? What's my historical context? What do you think, Jared?
Innovations.
You can't just say innovations.
Innovations.
Started by an emperor. Okay, so historical context is the emperor began innovating. Who is the audience of this piece? Who is this piece written for? Oh God, guys. You do know the faster we go, the less you do at home by yourself, right? Who is it for, Shannon? People of China, for sure. People of Han Dynasty, China, whatever you want. Okay, purpose. What is the purpose of the piece? I very specifically wrote Emperor began innovations. What is the purpose of this piece? What do we got? Katie, what do you think? Okay, the purpose of the piece is absolutely that Emperor plays a role in improving China. Okay, what is the point of view, ladies and gentlemen? What is the author trying to say? What do you got, Shannon? I can't hear you. What? Kind of. You're not horribly off. You're really not. Guys, the point of view is that China's emperor leads us, but it's the people who improve it. Okay? Why is it significant? It shows the dependency of the emperor and its people together in reverse. Think about it. Isn't this a nice little propaganda piece for this fake emperor who never existed? The emperor was the one who came up with the idea, and then it's the Chinese people who made it better. So it's like, see, by working together, which if you watch the State of the Union address, what did Trump keep saying over and over again? With us working together, you know, supporting this is how it works. So what are they trying to do? Huh? Get people to work together and see that the emperor is powerful so they can stay in power. Hi. If I stood up here every single day and say, hey guys, this is what I've been doing for you every single week. Okay, like today, I went over and talked about how we've been doing all these skills all year and how we've been working on it. Hopefully today, you're like, you know what, Bennett knows something. Like, this sucks. I'm glad we've been working on primaries. Can we agree? Okay, so hopefully today you feel a little bit happier you're with Samantha Bennett today. Because I know yesterday when you left me, you were like, I want to go to Nottingham now. Right? Oh, well, well, hopefully today, seeing how hard documents and sourcing your documents are, yes, you're like, okay, she may know what she's talking about, yes? Okay, that's what they're doing. They're saying, hi, you need me. This is everything. Are we having fun?
Yeah.
Obviously. All right, here we go. History of the early Han Dynasty. It's a government-sponsored history. Oh my God! Why would they tell us that? Why would they tell us, Sophia?
Because it's gonna be biased.
It's biased, so is it gonna be pro or anti? Pro-government. Okay, so this is the history of the Han. So who is this? We're gonna write Han over here to make it easier for us later. All right. So Tiu Shu was appointed governor of nature. He was a generous man and his policies were peaceful. He destroyed evildoers and established the dignity of his office. Can you see it's propaganda at this point? Alright, good at planning, Chu Shu loved the common people and wished to save their labor. He invented a water-powered blowing engine for the casting of iron agricultural implements that allowed people to enjoy great benefit for little labor. His invention, see ya. Ladies and gentlemen, your homework is to complete all 14 documents. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to take you time. I would finish the first DBQ tonight. I would. Because if you wait till Sunday to do all 14, you're going to want to die. Can we agree?
Yes.
I would do them tonight. Maybe sit at lunch today with other AP World kids and sit there and work on them. Yes? Because if you wait till Sunday, you are going to cry alone in your room. No, you need to write on these documents. Do not write on other paper. Write on the document. Bye. Have a great weekend. If we were here together tomorrow, it wouldn't be as bad. But here we are. Bye, sweetie. You too.
Miss Bennett,
Yes, ma'am.
can I take a picture of this Baron book?